This here is the box that the organ chain comes in and tells you what you're working with on the side. This is your connector link right here. So you gotta have these. That goes on there. When I count my chain, I count by twos. I don't have like a measuring table. I just go here 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 2, 4, 6, 8, 70, 72. We're counting these little diamonds, okay? That's a drive link. Here on the steel box, there's a drive link pictured there with the count. So that's how you know that's what you're counting. I need 81, so we got 72. I'm adding 9. The way that I cut these, I'm not going to show you. I already cut it, but the way I do it, it's not OSHA for sure. But I just spread it with my fingers like this, and I cut. And this thing is right there between my fingers, but I'll cut down through the link on each side. I need to grind this rivet right here. So I'm just gonna hold this carefully and just hit it with this grinder. I have a hole in the table here. I usually use a piece of plate metal for this, but we'll just place this pin right on top of that rivet. Should be able to knock this rivet pretty hard. See how it shifted? So another one like that, we should get it. There we go. We freed up our link. We need these two. You wouldn't normally be attaching a section like this, but I'm at the end of a reel and I want to use this instead of buying more. So we'll just put that in there. And basically the idea here is instead of using a little machine that costs hundreds of dollars, we're just going to hit it. You can't just hit this with a hammer. You'd like to, but it doesn't work. You have to place a peening hammer on it and strike it from above. These links should be able to move, but when you look at it this way, it shouldn't be gappy. So it's too loose still, so we'll do a little bit more. By the way, I've had factory links come out before. I've never had one of these come out. These are very trustworthy. That's pretty tight. 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 80, 81. Alright, so there you go. I have my beautiful, perfect chain. This won't have any troubles. It's easy to make a chain yourself. As far as buying the chain, it comes in these boxes where you might pay a couple $100s for a box, but if you bought Husqvarna X-Cut or steel chain, you're paying, a lot more money, more than probably double. I would say double for the chain, but at the end of the day, what I realized was that the convenience of having access to any size chain I want wasn't better than having quality chain. And so I stopped making my own chain. I kept this stuff as a backup for some time when I would need it. And I just felt like making one to compare against a different type of chain. But yeah, this Oregon chain is fine, it's good, but just normal cutting, you end up with dull chain. So it doesn't really sell itself very well to me because you have to file the chain. If you run the saw for an hour and then you run out of fuel, the instructions from Oregon tell you to sharpen the chain every time you fuel up, which there's a lot of extra maintenance. It's probably not the type of thing that's commonly going to happen on a job site, and I think that's partly why I don't prefer it. The Husqvarna X-Cut keeps a good edge, steel keeps a good edge, but you can also buy, for example, if you like steel chain, you could buy these little links and cut a couple links off a steel chain from a steel dealer and then put it on a Husqvarna saw. So that's another option where there's a little bit of flexibility there on what you're allowed to do as long as you can do this process. So it's worth more, basically, is what I'm trying to say, than just buying a big reel and producing your own chain. But I ran Oregon chain for, I think, basically a whole year, and to be honest with you, I ran through so much chain. I was using so much of it, it just wasn't worth it. And it does cut good when it's brand new, but then it doesn't go back to brand new cutting speed after you file it, even though if you file it perfectly according to the instructions, you would expect it to, because that's what the results I've gotten from other types of chain. That's it. It's a simple process. I've been in here for like 15 minutes, but really you could probably do this in about 5 minutes if you're quick. But otherwise, if you don't do it this way with the hammer, there's a special tool for cutting the links, and then there's a special tool for pushing the rivets out, and there's a special tool for like spreading the rivet. And all those things are hundreds of dollars when you could just get a hammer and a punch and do it yourself in the shop with a piece of steel that's got a hole in it. So this is why I've never done it a different way. I learned this method off of a video with Jake and Jed Walters, and they were joking about not having any special machines or tools for it. And Jed Walters said why he doesn't need it, and I agree with him. He's 100% right. So anyways, you guys have a great day, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.